For this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice therein and be glad. Salutations. I'm Tiffany Cheyenne, your spiritual climatologist, stopping by today to give you your forecast advisory for the week. I came to advise you that temptation is brewing at an all time high. But the sun, the SON, is shining and he never misses a peak. When there is light, darkness cannot sleep nor creep. The enemy doesn't want you to realize how blessed you are. Some of you are ready to leave what is essential to settle for what you covet or crave. Just because maybe for a season the thrill is gone. It just doesn't feel right anymore. Or maybe you've made a grand discovery that this is no longer what you desire. Why? Is it because trouble has hit paradise? Are you being tested where you're at your end's peak and what you chose was only kid tested approved? And you're feeling some type of way because when you went to present your case and the judge told you overruled? Are you upset because nobody really cares what you have to say and the only advice you're given is to just go pray? At your moment of desperation, the devil sends a decoy in. Your heart is so full of jolly that all you do is begin to laugh and grin. Instead of standing steadfast and trusting God, you decide to take the easy way out. You make out with temptation and your address you leave behind. So when you're feeling lonely, it rings you every time. I just want you to know that this is a calamity waiting to transpire. For your heart will desire what your eyes admire. Guard your heart above all else, for it is the source of life. Proverbs 4 and 23. The eye is the lamp of the body. So then, if your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness? Matthew 6:22 through 23. God has blessed you not to carry the same generational curses as your family members did. You're married, successful, educated, you've had children, and so much more. People look upon you and call you blessed, but you can't see it because you're too busy looking at the devil's smoke screen. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, all these things I will give you if you fall down and worship me. Matthew 4 and 8 and 9. Why are you letting the devil pick your seat, meaning your destination? Don't allow the devil to tell you where to sit. Why are you allowing him to entertain you? Some of you need to take Jesus' approach and tell the devil, get thee hence, Satan. Matthew 4 and 10. It's okay to tell the devil and hell to get out your ear, to get out your face, and to get out your house. I must propose a question. In order for the tempter to come in so swiftly and to be able to sweep us off our feet, are we really putting up a fight to resist him? Or is it that we wholeheartedly want to be tempted and overtaken by our own lust of the flesh, our secret desires, the things we sit and fantasize about that we don't want no one to know about? Are we really wanting to be overtaken to fulfill this pleasure? Do we come out and become spiritual wimps just to justify our wrongdoings? Right now, a lot of people are being tested in their lives. Yes, it's undesirable, but you're not, and I'm not exempt from being tested. Have you considered that maybe God considered you, Job, to be tested? Some of these storms that are brought to surface are not by acts of God, but acts of man. Sometimes we do produce our own storms. And when the tempest rage, we try to call forth peace. But for the season is acting out what we called it to release. Words have power, so be careful what you speak. The tongue has power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Proverbs 18 and 21. People are going through in their finances, in their health, in their marriages, and so many other areas. And right now, we need the Savior. I want to expound a little more on the marriages. If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Mark 3 and 25. The devil has presented a raging war in your marriage right now. Not because there is power in unity. How could man chase 1,000 or two put 10,000 to flight unless their rock had sold them, unless the Lord had given them up? Deuteronomy 32 and 30. Do two walk together unless they have agreed to do so? Amos 3 and 2. In a lot of homes, one is praying and one is kicking against the prick. Out of frustration, the continual strife, the praying party is becoming mute. This is the objective of the devil, to bind up the strong man of the house. Or again, how can anyone enter a strong man's house and carry off his possessions unless he first ties up the strong man? Then he can plunder his house. Matthew 12 and 29. With the strong man being bound in the house, the devil is running rapidly. For when the strong man is bound, the praying ceases, the fasting stops, and seeking God becomes more of an unwanted chore rather than a passion and a privilege. Now the doorway is now open for anything to enter your threshold. Question: do thieves and robbers rob houses that are empty and without any value? I would like everyone that's in the reach of my voice to stop and think about this for just a moment. Right now, you're so ready to give up on your marriage and everything that's tied to it. But isn't this the same man or woman you prayed for? That you begged God for? That you went against your family for? Isn't this the same one? While your house is bound, he binds the bedroom as well. There is no intimacy, no communication, and it starts to seem as if it's no love lost. No intimacy, no communication. You dread coming home. You rather stay at work. You hate when they call your name. The sound of their voice irritates you. You feel like you want to be with somebody else. There's somebody else better that can treat you better and that can love you better. All these things the devil is presenting to you. People are starting to pay you attention. People will come and give you their number. People that never paid you any attention now got a thing for you. There is no communication. When the devil shuts down your communication, the house is divided. We have to communicate. I wouldn't want to live in a house with somebody that I would have to walk by and feel like a roommate. That is a form of bondage and a prison. And God did not call us to be in bondage. You will notice that the neighbor and the stranger will get more communication than you do at home. There is no desire to be home, and now your flesh wants to roam, for it is looking for a treat. Since there is no intimacy in the home, it looks for it in the street. The devil make you think about your past tense and your past loves and your past affairs, and you just want to be loved, and you just want to be touched, and you just want to be done the way so and so used to do you, or hell, the way Rome used to do you. And the devil starts bringing in all these things, and then your body starts rejecting, and there goes your soul ties battling what you're married to. Now you're reminded of what you used to have, the feel you used to have, the joy you used to have, and now you have no will, no passion, no desire to work on what you got. And the devil knows it, and the devil wants to divide it because there is power in unity. Don't let the devil divide your house. I want you to guard your ears, what you are hearing. Your ears, your mouth, and your eyes are all forms of entry. Just as a computer has a mouse and a keyboard for its entry, those are our entry sites. The devil is sending out viruses trying to destroy your motherboard. There are so many silly women and men watching and waiting for you to drop the blessing. Yes, his can be her. God bless you with it, but you're beginning not to want it because it's causing now great pain, arguments, misunderstanding, stagnation, and etc. I must remind you, but the one who does not know and does do things deserving punishment will be beaten with a few blows. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much will be asked. Luke 12:48. If God called Abraham to make a sacrifice with Isaac, who are you to be exempt? If you just hold on and hold out and continue to trust God, just like Isaac was spared, God will have a ram in the bush for you too. Because the truth of the matter is, if they were you, everybody that's in your ear, because this is the season when everybody will say, "Oh girl, you stupid, I would have left them. If this was me, I wouldn't put up with it." Or the brother man was like, "I know this bad chick, man. Won't you just cut out on your wife?" They'll tell you all these things. But they won't never encourage you. You'll know when people are not of God and not for you, because they will never encourage you with the word of God. They will never encourage you to do what's right. They will always set you up for failure. But being blinded by our own lust and our own desires, not praying and fasting and asking God for discernment and what we should do in a situation, we're overtaken because we got the devil in our ears. Now our friends have plugged up one of our interest sites, and they are giving us the responses that we are to carry out. That's because you have strayed away and you have not listened to the shepherd. You need to listen. Guard your eyes, guard your ears, guard your mind. Because the truth of the matter is, what they are telling you to do, they wouldn't do, and they would not have you in their business. The truth of the matter is, when you put that blessing out on the curb, they will be the same ones that will recycle it and work through the kinks that you didn't have time to comb out, because God has already sprayed it with detangler, favor. The man who finds a wife finds favor with the Lord. So now everybody's after your favor. Everybody want what you got. Now your neighbor know what he ain't doing or what she ain't doing, and they sit here in the midnight hour and console you and talk to you and rub the L out your head, but they were setting you up to take your blessing that is adorned by favor. Don't give up your possession that God has given you. See, God heard your prayer. He answered. Now you want to throw it back. Ain't it funny? As soon as things don't go the way that we plan them or we expect them to go, we want God to remove it, to take it out. God, look what they doing to me. Curse them. Get them out of here. I don't want them no more. Now I need you to be very mindful and add up the cost. Is it really worth it? Is the good outweighing the bad? Because I want to remind you, as soon as you throw this blessing to a side, remember, you can't say that no one will want it, because you have already gave what you consider trash as curb appeal. And there are a few good men and a few good women looking for a good man and a good woman, especially when they are adorned with favor. In today's time, we will call that the cleanup woman or Jody. So be very careful. They are the kind whom worm their way into homes and gain control over gullible women who are loaded down with the sins and who are swayed by all kinds of evil desires, always learning but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Just as Jannes and Jambres opposed Moses, so also these teachers oppose the truth. They are men of depraved minds who are, as far as the faith is concerned, are rejected. But they will not get very far, because as it in case of those men, their folly would be clear to everyone. 2 Timothy 3:9. Watch out for everyone who has a profound word for you. If it were me, I would do this or I would do that. Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation or the enemy's trap. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Matthew 26:41. Pray to keep from becoming prey. Add up the cost, because truly you can't afford to make another dumb mistake. Watch where you gaze. Take the time to fertilize your own grass, and it will be just as green. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your requests. Philippians 4:16. I want you to know that the winds may blow when the storms may rage, but when God speaks, it has to obey. I'm Tiffany Cheyenne. Catch me here again next week. Shalom.